Clayton Kershaw reboots his rehab. USC's defensive line coach is aware of what he needs to turn the program around. And an Angel City forward has a new outlook on life after 4 knee surgeries. Ouch. Good morning. I'm James. This is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the faithful Angelenos morning report. And so it is July 9th, 2024. On the road once again in southern Illinois. I got about 6 more weeks with the not quite civilized. So let's muddle through it together. What do you say? Do you like being in the know about LA sports? Well, if you do, click the like button. Click the subscribe button. There's a notification bell. Hit that. It'll let you know when we drop new content. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist, and by all means comment. Now, before we go through the news and notes and look at the scoreboard, there were no games involving LA teams yesterday. Meanwhile, today, the Dodgers are in Philadelphia at 4:30. Bobby Miller is 1-1 with a 6.12 ERA. Zach Wheeler, 9-4 with a 2.74 ERA. Minnesota is in town to play the Sparks at 7. Since the Sparks have hired Kurt Miller as coach, he hasn't beaten Minnesota in 6 chances. Yikes. What do you say we get to the news? Clayton Kershaw is set to resume a rehab assignment Saturday. He threw a simulated game at Dodger Stadium on Sunday. This start might be earmarked for a trip to Oklahoma City. You might recall his first rehab out in the IE was halted due to soreness. He underwent an MRI after the shutdown, received some shots to alleviate the pain. And I got to tell you, every time I think about this sort of stuff, I take a moment and imagine the Dodgers starters that are currently injured, and it's actually a hell of a rotation. When you feel like hating yourself, when you feel like wanting to kick things around because the Dodgers aren't just destroying people every single day, think of a rotation of Kershaw, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Walker Buehler, Dustin May, and Tony Gonsolin. Do you hate life yet? I kind of do. Don't get me wrong, the Dodgers are still in first place by 7.5 games, but come on, man. That's a hell of a rotation. Former Rookie of the Year, Raul Mondesi, was sentenced to 6 or 7 years imprisonment. The reports as to the sentence length have varied depending on the news outlet. This was out in the Dominican. Here's the thing. He was already released because the time of him being imprisoned was actually house arrest, and he had already served it. And why leave? If you have, a few $1 million from a major league career, yeah, let's be real, you can pretty much live in luxury in the Dominican. He was convicted in a corruption case. He was the mayor of San Cristobal and allegedly stole about $5 million. By the way, the dude cleared more than $22 million in his major league career. He also has some of my money, I might add. When I was a young man, I actually paid this dude to autograph my Dodgers jersey at a convention. Really? $22 million plus my $10 wasn't enough for you? You had to steal another $5M? It's the first Dodgers, I'll never forget it. It was the first Dodgers jersey I ever owned. And since obviously the jerseys fade over time, maybe you gain a few LBs, I sure as hell did. I haven't asked anybody for an autograph in decades, but that one I wanted Dodger autographs on. It's a hell of a list. I got Tommy Lasorda, I have Steve Garvey, I have Maury Wills, I have Davey Lopes, and then off in the corner, by the way, all 4 of those guys, completely gracious. Mondesi didn't even look at me. The money in the box. So, yeah. Raul Mondesi imprisoned in his own home for 6 or 7 years for stealing $5 million. Hell of a guy. A guy I used to work with in journalism always spoke of the business as saying poop rolls downhill. He didn't use the word poop, and I didn't think poop rolled, but I digress. The point is that when there are bad times in an organization, the bad news just gains steam as it rolls from the top all the way down until it smacks you right in the face. So, when it came to USC's defense being poop, the poop hit Alex Grinch, the poop hit Lincoln Riley, and then Lincoln Riley hired D'Anton Lynn as defensive coordinator, who in turn hired Eric Henderson as defensive line coach away from the Rams. It's kind of like a poop flow chart if you think about it. Lynn now created massive pressure when he was over at UCLA. He had this great defensive front. So in order for his defense to work at USC, he needs Henderson in a big, big way, or that poop is just going to gain momentum like a feces snowball. So Henderson goes on this podcast, and he was asked what he's looking for in players to rebuild the Trojans front. You know, I mean, USC has a name. Why aren't you landing all these 4 or 5 star players? Why did these 2 guys go back to Georgia a couple of weeks ago, these 2 recruits? So what are you looking for? To which Henderson said, quote, a dog, straight up. Sometimes guys don't always have the elite measurables or the tallest guy, the biggest guy, the strongest guy. But when you've got something in your chest that's pumping louder than everybody else, I'm rocking with that. Because I trust my ability as a coach to get you better. There's no one better in the game that has been there to help you reach that level of competitiveness when you talk about defensive line play than I feel like I am. I know that I can help everybody get better. So if you have those things that you can't coach, and then you're able to apply the above the neck approach to the game, just being a student of the game, you want to be coachable, you understand the game, your smarts, all that stuff, man, I can help you with the rest of it, unquote. Now, he has yet to be a defensive coach for USC. He has fans who have played for the Rams on the defensive line, by the way. They just rave about the guy. So, yeah, they lost a couple of recruits. Let's not deny that. But there is the possibility that he knows a trick or two up his sleeve. He managed to get things out of Rams defensive linemen who were not named Aaron Donald, for example. Angel City FC has had a tumultuous year so far, to put it politely. They may be in the process of being sold. We've heard rumors about this guy wanting to buy the team, this couple wanting to buy the team. And then there are some owners in this fractious ownership group who are like, no, we don't want to sell. There's been all kinds of silliness. They've only been to the playoffs once in their existence. They're on a 3-match losing streak. They're on the outside of the playoffs looking in at the moment. But you know, there's more to life than losing games. There's the possibility of losing your career. And that's what Kristen Press faced 2 years ago when her knee exploded. So, by the way, credit to Kevin Baxter of the LA Times for getting a chance to chat with her. It's kind of an obvious story to write, but it's still the right story to write. So he tracked her down. The 2-time World Cup champ needed 4 surgeries to get her knee to finally work after more than 2 years away from the pitch, and that is intense. How would you like it if your doctor said, you know what, the first 2 surgeries, the first 3 surgeries, yeah, we get it, you're not really walking yet. We really think this 4th time under the knife, that's gonna do the trick. How many times would you be just like, you know what, dude, I don't buy it. I don't. But it took 4 surgeries. Quote, I don't know if I would say I'm a better person. I'm a more grounded person. I'm more peaceful. I'm more at ease with myself. I enjoy my life more, absolutely, unquote. In other words, Press didn't just sit there and go, okay, time for more rehab. I'm a machine. I'm a robot. She actually decided to have some introspection, some self-improvement, which is good for her. We don't have an exact date for her return to the pitch. It's likely going to be during something called the Summer Cup, which is going to go on while the NWSL takes an Olympic break. If Press can play significant time when league play resumes, remember, again, she's a 2-time World Cup winner, plus the summer transfer window opening, it's possible that Angel City can recover. She added that despite the personal growth, there's, quote, a deep longing and a sadness for not being in the game. My body's craving competition. It's like a dichotomy, unquote. So like I said, I've admitted all along, Angel City's been struggling. I'm not exactly clamoring for tickets, but I kind of root for Christian Press through this whole thing. Bronny James missed his second consecutive Summer League game for the Lakers with left knee swelling. And as a side note for the Lakers, UConn coach Dan Hurley, the dude who spurned the Lakers during their coaching search, officially re-upped with the Huskies. He gets 6 years at $50 million, which, yes, is less than what the Lakers would have paid him. Clippers backup center Daniel Theis has now signed a 1-year deal to play for New Orleans. This is according to ESPN. And it's not just rookies at Summer League, by the way, in the upcoming NBA Summer League. If you can join it, you can join in and play if you're a second-year player. I bring this up to say keep an eye on the progress of former UCLA guard Amari Bailey over with Charlotte. He played only 10 games with the Hornets as a rookie, averaged just a little bit more than 2 points a game. But this is actually kind of a pivotal point in the guy's pro career. So, saying, just keep an eye out on him. LAFC winger Stipe Biuk has been transferred to a Spanish club permanently. He was originally loaned by the Black and Gold earlier this year. The Croatian player simply couldn't get any playing time out in LA. How could he? He's a winger. He was passed up by Matus Bogusz. He damn sure wasn't going to outplay Golden Boot winner Dennis Bouanga. So LAFC basically got what they could for him and sent him back to Europe. Maybe it'll turn around for him there. But you let me know what you think in the comments thread. Talk to me about if you're remotely confident in Clayton Kershaw's shoulder, his rebuilt shoulder now. Do you still have faith in USC's defense simply due to the coaching, if not the actual talent? And if you enjoyed the content, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We're talking LA sports here every single day. Thank you for watching. I'm James. We'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Kian Cortel Queso production. Take care.